And introduce ourselves in case you don't know everybody.
I'm Susan Morris. I talked with you on the phone. Judy Watts.
Alex Cassie.
Diane Frankenberger.
Jan Hersey.
Chris Bauer.
I'm the non-board member. I'm Bethany LeGrand with Main Street, South Carolina, which is a service of the Municipal Association.
Howard Bridgman.
I'm Buckington Adams. Tim Hamilton.
Lise Richardson.
Myself. Okay, well, we have some questions we would like to ask you that we kind of formulated. So we'll start with those first. The DREAM motto is preserving the past, promoting the present, and protecting the future of historic downtown Somerville. How would you assist DREAM in this three-point vision?
Well, basically, I'm open to any suggestions. I have no magical answer. One thing that bothers me in the downtown is the side of the street that's where the theater is. I think that's really a distraction, a negative draw for the town. I'd like to see actually the downtown expanded, maybe another parallel street myself. I think that even all the way, probably where my office is, all the way maybe to 78, to somehow preserve the little individual housing type things. I hate to see a generic office building go up. We've tried to preserve the house complex with my office. So I think that that could be done with appropriate zoning. But I'm basically very pro-business because business runs the town. If we don't have business, people's real estate taxes are going to go through the roof. The town basically runs on business licenses. Unfortunately, in this state, the taxes on business is terrible. It's really, really high, but that's a state type problem. So I'm basically more of a listener and a consensus developer and then a manager. So basically I'd be open to any suggestion. That goes all the way from reorganization to saving money, whatever could come about. I have no magic answer. But downtown is critical, and you know, small business is just tough. Overhead will just eat you alive. And years ago, when I was involved with the chamber, we had probably close to 50% of the businesses in town disappeared within a year. They were all undercapitalized, and that's a problem. But so I'm open to any suggestion.
Okay. Are you presently a member of DREAM?
I don't think I am, to be honest with you.
Could you tell us maybe why you're not a member of DREAM?
Because I'm not sure that a physician, although I think what Nancy Jean all started is really good, I'm not sure physicians, I don't even advertise. I just don't think physicians should be looked at as a business. That's my take on that. It is a business, but it's not a business. Unfortunately, it's moving more and more towards a business. In fact, I'm probably a dinosaur because there's just the two of us. We're not owned by anybody, and more physicians are owned by corporations, and the physician really just works for the company. So I have some degree because I'm really not a business.
What, are there any, so if you've not been a member of DREAM, are there any organizations here in Somerville that maybe you've consistently been a member of?
I've been a member of Rotary. I did a lot of work early on with the museum. I'm with the Children in Crisis. I, in the past, was a member and board member of Chamber of Commerce for a number of years when they were struggling. So I've done a lot of things in the town. And one statewide organization, which was a medical organization, which when you're trying to organize doctors, it's like herding cats. It's very, very difficult, but we succeeded. So most of my experience really is local, except for that one office.
And the planning board.
Well, I read the planning board for that's not really the town, but that's the county, but I guess
But it
that's,
was, you know,
yeah.
civic, so.
Okay. As mayor, what would you do to help support the existing businesses and encourage new businesses?
Well, I think we have to make it easier to start up a business, whether it's the codes people. I think you have to, when you come in to start a business or license or whatever it is, I think you ought to be ushered through that process. I think the town needs to help you through the loops. They shouldn't just push you away and here's a list of things you got to do. I think that really ought to help you do them. And then I think you have to look and say, okay, you can't do this, but you know, if you change just a little bit, you could do this. So I think there's a polite, positive way to tell someone, no, you can't do that, but you could do this. And I think the mayor and council really sets the tone. It's like when I was in the military, the commanding officer sets the tone of the command. And you can feel it. Either the command is friendly, positive, or you can sense the negativity and the disconnect in people. So I think just the way you approach people is important. I think we've got to make it easier.
All right. How would you propose to increase the revenue for the town of Somerville?
I think first of all, you got to look at everything. Taxes is a dirty word, and whether it's fees or anything else, that's still a tax. I think we got to look at ways to economize. We've got to look: are we doing something that we shouldn't do? Are we doing something that could be combined? Can we contract out certain services? If you notice, my signs are smaller than everybody else's. I found I could buy 3 for the price of 2 regulars, so that's what I did. Plus, I consider political signs litter on a stick, or litter on wire, I guess. I'm not big on signs. I put some out. I think we have to look at everything. Everything has to come out on the table. Maybe we can, maybe you can't. But the easy way around that is to just add a bunch of fees. And then you don't call it a tax. But for all practical purposes, it's a tax.
Well, would you do something to kind of seek out other ways of bringing in businesses, or?
Well, I think you have to work with your local groups like this and the chamber. You got to get your, see if you can work better with your legislative delegation. You got to get everybody together. You got to get everybody on the same page. If you don't get everybody on the same page, nothing happens. And I just sense over the last years we've had 10 different ways of approaching something, and nothing gets. You can't get everybody to agree. So I look at the mayor's job more as being an intermediary, try to get people together. And there may be areas that are so contentious you just have to leave alone. We don't work in a system where you can be Machiavellian